Welcome back to the channel. My name is Joseph Gutierrez, and this is covering compounding. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the laddering strategy and how we compare it with our income-based annuities. By laddering our income, we can not only diversify our retirement portfolio from volatile markets, but we can also give ourselves more income guaranteed for life. Let's check it out. All right, let's go ahead and focus in here on our client as he's getting ready for retirement by utilizing the laddering strategy with income-based annuities to not only diversify himself away from volatile markets, but also guarantee more lifetime income. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and look at our whiteboard here as we often do, kind of get a picture of what he's going through and how he intends on tackling his retirement. First things first, he's a 62-year-old male, and he's getting ready for retirement. And he's going to probably retire at age 65, although he may work as a part-time contractor for his old company for a few more years. So he's giving himself a little bit of flexibility. He saved up an additional 1.5 million in IRAs or 401k, IRA type assets, as well as his non-qualified brokerage. Okay. Now, the main thing for our client here is that he's a little bit anxious about the market. Okay, so we won't spend too much time on this, but there's plenty of things to be anxious for in this particular market at the filming of this video. Okay, it's 2026 in May time. So obviously, let's list out a few things. Obviously, the first one that comes to mind is the Iran war and the oil shock. Okay, so oil kind of runs the world. And when we see oil prices surge up to over $100 a barrel, kind of where we are, at least right at this moment at the filming of this video per barrel, we see kind of the constraint on the global markets and how it's kind of tightening things up and affecting demand and affecting the economies. Okay, a lot of the talking heads on TV seem to think that this oil shock will work itself out in a couple weeks, maybe, but I wouldn't really count on it. And this can have disastrous effects on the market as a whole because oil, as we know, is used in everything. It's used in transportation, it's used in our food supply. Where do you think a lot of the fertilizers come from? Okay, so petrochemicals, things of that nature. And right now, it's a pretty big ordeal, and it could have a very negative effect on the market. Okay, so what else has happened? Okay, so well, in 2025, we saw gold surge. Now, gold is oftentimes seen as the antithesis to the American petrol-based dollar system, okay, the euro dollar. So whenever we start seeing gold surge in the way that it has, it basically shows that there's weakness in the dollar markets, which can all obviously have an effect on equities. Okay, so we are seeing quite a bit of gold surge. And ever since Basel III, in I believe it was 2016, where gold became a tier one asset for bank reserves and management, we've seen that the gold market is starting to edge out the dollar-based market, the treasury market, and a lot of these central banks are loading up on gold, and it has an effect on what's next, interest rates. So what did we see in 2022, which kind of blew up a lot of retirees or incoming retirees' portfolios? We saw sharp interest rates, which also led to higher bond yields. Right, and if you're holding those kind of debt instruments, those treasuries, it's going to affect the underlying value, so you won't be able to really sell out of them without incurring a loss. So we're seeing higher interest rates and higher bond yields, gold surge, oil surge. We're kind of seeing more of a inflationary commodity cycle. We may soon find ourselves in some kind of credit crunch. There's plenty of talk about other things going on in the market, kind of malinvestment with AI and private equity and private credit. A lot of things going on, which is just making the whole market anxiety much worse. So for our client, as well as many other incoming retirees, the market is showing signs of being kind of unstable. And we'll see how it shapes out, because so far the markets have been quote unquote resilient.
And the U.S. banking system is sound and resilient.
Data showing the resilience. We certainly have a very resilient economy on our hands.
As we hear from the Fed chair, Jerome Powell, who's leaving, and the new chair that's going to be taking over, as well as all these talking heads. But all it takes is one straw to break the camel's back.
It will happen, and the republic will survive. You can't plan for the end of the world. I think you come up with a valuation that's kind of in the area of where we are now.
What if you're wrong on the 20%, Vince? What if it's 40%?
Yeah, well, then you got a real problem, Joe.
Well,
the markets go for a tailspin. And the reason why this is so important, if you're getting ready for retirement, is that you don't necessarily have time to wear out the storm, right? Because we do have this effect of, as the market tanks, it brings a sequence of returns risks. So this is pretty big. Basically, the way it pans out, if you do the analysis, is that if we have a large downturn in the beginning of our distribution period for retirement, it can basically wipe out our portfolio and we'll likely run out of money not long thereafter. So basically, if this sequence of returns risk does take place and you're taking distributions and income from a portfolio that's losing value, we only have cascading losses at that effect. So one of the things that our client wants to do is to not be following a 3-4% rule and put his money, at least part of it, into kind of a safer instruments, right? And annuities and income-based annuities is basically insurance on your retirement income. It's a huge thing. So instead of taking his 1.5 million and having it at risk all the time, instead he's going to separate them out. So on one side, put little circles here. On one side, he's still going to be in the market, because the market is a great wealth generation tool. It does about 8 to 12% per year for a long period of time. So on the average, the market will do well. So we're still going to stay in market-based assets to a certain extent. At least that's what he wants to do. So he'll probably keep around 900K in market-based assets, while on the insured side, he's going to put about 600,000 in insurance-based assets, in particular the FIAs with the income rider. Okay, and if you're not familiar with FIAs with the income rider, we did do a video. You can go ahead and click on it here. We'll put it on the screen where you can learn more about how these products work. But they essentially give us guaranteed lifetime income that will never run out of on us, no matter how long we live, us and our spouse, if we do a joint kind of policy there. Okay, so now that we have this kind of figured out, he's looking at different options here. So if we scroll down a little bit more, he's got his $600,000 that he wants to put towards income annuities, but he also wants to kind of place it in such a way that he can maximize his income and not necessarily take it all out all at once in one contract. So we're going to be looking at 3 different options for him, because remember, he's age 62 and he's going to defer taking income to at least age 65. Okay. So in the first scenario, he's going to take income age 65. That's all $600,000. The second scenario is he's going to have 2 contracts of $300,000, one at age 65 and the other one at age 68. And then the third scenario is he's going to have 3 contracts at $200,000, okay? And he's going to be taking income age 65, age 68, and age 71. So let's go ahead and take a look at our actual income tool here for the annuities and look at each scenario and how it can build on his potential income over the long run. All right, let's focus in here on the annuity analyzer tool that we like to use. and how it can affect our clients' payouts and how we can maximize his payout by utilizing the laddering strategy for heightened lifetime income, as well as diversifying away from this volatile market that we're seeing. Okay, so we're going to take a look at our software here, and we can see that a 62-year-old male from Michigan with $600,000 from his traditional IRA that he'd like to be put to work. For his request here is that it's at least A- rated from AM Best. And we're going to go ahead and take a look here. And by the way, we do have the ability for you to also take a look at a printout of all the most competitive annuities out there. If you visit our webpage, there's an annuity quoting tab there where you can click on and put a lot of your information in your state, whether it's single or joint, the amount of money you'd like to put into the annuity, and the deferral period, and you can get a free printout that we'll email to you. And it's based on the same information that we're looking on right here in our video. So first things first here, but let's go back to our client here, 60-year-old male from Michigan, and he's 62 right now. And if he plans to defer to about age 65, we can see that the top annuities that pop up here come in at Fidelity and Guarantee. This is their Safe Income Advantage product, and it's coming in at $58,339 per year, guaranteed for life. Okay, and that's if he were to put all $600,000 into one annuity contract and turn on that income at age 65. Now, for laddering, we want to change the number of contracts that we take, and we choose to turn them on at different intervals of time, kind of delay them a little bit further out. And that's kind of how these fixed index annuities with the income rider work the best, is if we can defer even longer, it can give us a heightened payout, and that's guaranteed for life. So what some people like to do is they utilize this laddering strategy where we have multiple annuity contracts that we turn on income at different points in the future to get a better payout. Okay, so if he were to, instead of putting all his eggs in one basket with one annuity, he puts, let's say, 300,000 into two different annuities that he starts at age 62, well, he can turn one on at age 65, the same Fidelity and Guarantee that comes into as 29,197. He can turn the next one on at age 68. Now, Fidelity comes up as the top one again, but just to diversify against different carriers here, we're going to choose ClearSpring. Okay, so ClearSpring Life and Annuity Company, and their payouts coming in at $36,762, and those two added up come to a total of $65,959 per year. So a bit more than the original $58,393. So it's considerably more money just by splitting up, laddering it out, and deferring for a few years. Now let's go ahead and do the same exercise here. And let's say we want to do $200,000 across 3 contracts. So taking one out at age 65, the other at age 68, and 71. What would that bring us out to? Well, if we put $200,000 into our first annuity, same thing, F&G Life with the Safe Income Advantage, we're going to get $19,000. So $19,465 starting at age 65. And then we can ladder by incorporating this other annuity with ClearSpring, $24,508. Now we got 2 annuities, we're turning on different intervals of time. And then the last one, turn on at age 71, where he can work with Talcott Financial Group, and they're going to give a guaranteed payout of $32,257. And if you add all of them up, by the time he reaches 71 years old, he'll be making on his annuity income $76,229 per year, guaranteed for as long as he lives. So we can see how we were able to not only diversify away from the market, but also be able to ladder our annuity choices here so that we can have a guaranteed payout and have a larger guaranteed payout than putting all our eggs in one basket with one annuity carrier. The major difference here is that you do have to wait a little bit longer, allowing that deferral process to take root here and grow our benefit base so that we have more a stronger payout. Okay, and not only that, we saw that this did allow us to get this larger payout with $76,229. And the added benefit that a lot of people don't pay attention to until they're new annuity recipients, annuity owners, is that we can diversify amount of our portfolio away from the volatility of the market and have that guaranteed income coming in month after month, year after year, no matter what's going on. Doesn't matter if we're at war, doesn't matter if we have a supply shock, doesn't matter if there's any issues in the global or domestic markets, we know we're going to get that guaranteed paycheck. Basically, we bought ourselves a really nice pension over our lifetime in retirement. So we can kind of take our eyes off and our anxiety away from the market and let the market work itself out. It's usually the best way to handle that kind of volatility, is kind of ride it out. Now, if you are fully in the market and you're doing the 3-4% rule, day to day, you're going to be staring at the market, wondering if it's going to go down. Are you going to be able to survive this sequence of rate return risk? How is this going to affect your retirement? It adds a lot of extra anxiety that we don't need to have if we diversify our way into annuity-based products where we can get that guaranteed income. They'll sustain us and let the market work itself out. All right, thank you for watching. In today's video, we looked at the laddering strategy applied to our fixed index annuities with the income rider, where we can ladder out our income and get a high income and also diversify ourselves away from the volatility of the market. It doesn't matter what the market's doing, if it's going up, going down, going sideways. If we have that guaranteed lifetime income coming in day after day, year after year, we know that we have that protection built in, so we can take a little bit of the anxiety off of our plate and enjoy our retirement. Okay. Once again, thank you for watching. If you're interested in putting together your own guaranteed income plan for retirement, feel free to click the link in the description. It'll take you to our webpage where you can see much of our information. You can see articles, you can see the annuity tool for the annuity income tool if you'd like to put in your own information and get a free printout from us. And you can also see a book now button for a free online consultation. And during that initial consultation, it'll be basically a discovery call, kind of figure out what you're looking to solve and how one of these products can be used to generate income and give you the stability in retirement that you deserve. Okay, thanks again for watching. Feel free to click like and subscribe, ring the bell, leave a comment, and I look forward to helping you become retirement ready. Until next time.